Hello, and welcome to Penumbra's fight breakdown video for Bonethrasher. This video is designed to instruct players who are new to fighting Bonethrasher on how to successfully kill him. This is Bonethrasher. He is the first boss in Karagga's palace. Bonethrasher has 4 abilities. They are Swipe, Pound, Backhand, and Stomp. When players first zone into the pit where Bonethrasher is, they will want to back up to the edge of the grates and gather up so the group can attack together. Make sure not to fall into the acids surrounding the outer edge. There are 4 mobs that are present that the group will want to dispatch quickly, but finish off at the opposite end of the pit from where Bonethrasher appears so not to aggro him too early. If re-entering after a wipe, make sure you back up as soon as you enter the pit so nobody aggroes the boss. Again, make sure you do not fall into the acids surrounding the outer edge. The boss's most devastating attack is his swipe attack. It does massive damage to all players standing in front of him. This attack can make it difficult on healers if players aren't paying attention. The second most devastating attack is his pound attack. This is the attack you most likely want to pay the closest attention to. This attack stuns a player and deals heavy damage. After the boss's pound attack is over, players will receive the injured debuff for a few seconds. The debuff slows movement speed and causes the player to take fatal damage if hit by swipe. Bonethrasher has an ability called Backhand, which does moderate damage and knocks back all players standing in front of him. This ability can wipe a raid if players aren't aware where they are standing. The boss's final ability is Stomp. It can't be avoided, although it can miss. The boss will squat down and stomp, doing moderate damage, and this will toss all players into the air a small distance. Bonethrasher has no aggro table, so he will simply chase random players. Tank's threat-producing abilities will not work against this boss. If a player receives aggro from Bonethrasher, they should try and hold him in the center of the pit. Prior to the raid, players should make sure they have the Target of Target box enabled in their UI so they can tell who Bonethrasher is targeting. Healers will have a little harder of a time with this, and should use the sidestep method to see if Bonethrasher remains facing them. Once Bonethrasher fixates on a player, that player should not move so that the other players can more easily position themselves out of the swipe range. If a player runs around with Bonethrasher chasing them, it becomes harder for the rest of the raid to predict where his swipe will land, and more damage to more players makes it harder on the healers to do their job. Once a player is hit by pound, they need to do anything they can do in order to not be in front of Bonethrasher. If Bonethrasher does a swipe attack on a player who has the injured debuff, it's an instant kill. Occasionally during the fight, a Gamorrean will spawn on the outer edge of the pit. They are easy to spot since they glow red, but all players will need to announce the Gamorrean's spawn if they spot it. Once a Gamorrean has been spotted, all players should focus on the Gamorrean to take him down as quickly as they can. The only exception to this rule is if you currently have aggro of Bonethrasher. If Bonethrasher gets too close to a Gamorrean, he will eat it and become enraged for 20 seconds, and his damage is increased by 20%. Players are responsible for keeping Bonethrasher in the center of the pit if they have aggro. This does not change if a Gamorrean has been spotted. Additionally, if Bonethrasher chases a player to the outer edge, he can do his backhand attack, which will knock all players in front of him into the acid and remove them from the battle for the rest of the fight.
Oh man.
Players fighting Gamorreans should be able to DPS them down quite quickly. They can be stunned, but players need to be aware not to knock them into the acid as the boss will start to evade and reset. Once Bonethrasher hits 50% health, 2 elite adds jump into the fight. A tank should pick these up to minimize damage. Players can kill these adds or simply tank them until the end of the fight. Just like with the Gamorreans, players should not knock the adds into the acid. At the beginning of the fight, it is better for the main tank to engage the boss while the rest of the raid position themselves behind him. However, try not to run directly at the boss. Make sure to run along Bonethrasher's sides as he can open his attacks with a swipe. The primary focus in this fight is beating the enraged timer, which becomes harder in hard mode. In hard mode, the boss has more health and deals more damage. Players having trouble downing the boss in hard mode can try crowd controlling the adds, or if the raid is doing a good job avoiding swipe, can try to use only one healer and an extra DPS in order to beat the enraged timer. That's all there is to Bonethrasher. Good luck with your next fight against him. Remember to visit our website at www.sithpenumbra.engine.com.